Good morning.
Grant, if I tell you something, promise you won't let your feelings be hurt.
Celia, how could you possibly hurt my feelings? What is it?
Well, it's just a thought, darling, that even though it's your first day at work and all, well, don't you think you're a bit overdressed for working in a drugstore?
We better get going. We're going to be late for the Cassadines meeting.
Yeah, let's go.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
7th floor with a wheelchair stat. Orderly to the 7th floor.
Robert, I'm surprised to see you here. Any special reason?
Just routine, Steve. I'm looking after our visiting benefactor.
Yeah. Oh, good morning. Hi.
I think the VIPs are about to arrive.
Yeah, limo drove up just as we arrived.
Oh, you're right.
Good morning, Mr. Cassadine. We're all so delighted that you're here.
Well, thank you.
Well, if you're ready, why don't I show you directly to the boardroom?
Yes, thank you. I'm quite ready.
Oh, right this way.
Dr. Perez, report to radiology. Dr. Perez, report to radiology. Dr. Banks, call the lab on line 4B. Dr. Banks, call the lab on line 4B.
Should I cross my fingers?
Cross everything. Yes.
Stavros just arrived.
With entourage?
Right. Steve's taken him to the boardroom for the presentation.
Okay. What happens after this presentation?
Well, he said he's leaving town. All we can do now is hope that he does.
No, Celia, you haven't offended me. It's just, I don't know what you mean. I've always worn a suit to work, either a suit or a jacket and slacks.
To work as a doctor.
I see. I'm not a doctor, I'm a clerk. What am I supposed to wear? A T-shirt and blue jeans?
I knew it hurt your feelings.
No, Celia, you didn't hurt my feelings. If I feel demeaned, it certainly isn't your fault.
I have a suggestion, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Why don't you just take off this jacket and slip on a sweater?
Why not? I keep this old sweater down here just in case. Thank you. Well, you think this would be better?
Yes, that'll be much better. And Grant, don't feel demeaned. What you're doing takes tremendous courage, and I love you for it.
Celia, I'm gonna be okay.
Sure.
I am sure. You know, I might even like it. It's a whole new experience. And I might just be damn good at it.
You will be. You'll be wonderful at it.
Celia, with you by my side, how can I miss? Wish me luck.
You know I do.
He'll be fine, my dear.
Lila, I didn't hear you. How long have you been there?
Only a moment. But I do know what you're going through, both of you.
Oh, Lila, it's so demoralizing for him.
My dear, it's an honest job.
Yes, but it's so far beneath being a doctor. When I look at him sometimes and I see how hard he's trying, I just want to cry.
But you don't cry, do you? And that's the important thing. Because he needs your strength, Celia. Your strength as well as his own.
Well, I try to give it to him.
I know you do, dear. I've seen you. And you're doing beautifully.
It's hard. For him as well as for me.
Well, most things that are like that are hard, dear, but he's devoted to you, and you're devoted to him, and he knows it, and that's the important thing.
I hope so.
Just continue giving him support, dear, because he needs it, now more than ever.
Presentation at the hospital should be over by now. Why hasn't Robert called?
Because the presentation can't be over. The last time we called, they were just starting.
But that was hours ago, Luke.
10 minutes, tops.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm just a little eager.
Oh, that's okay. I'm glad you're eager. Once his character is out of town, our lives are going to change.
Well, at least we're consistent.
How so?
Seems like our lives are always changing.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, at least this time they're going to change forever for the good. Are you hungry?
Yeah, but we really can't do anything about it. The housekeeper said that we were out of absolutely everything.
Didn't she order anything?
Yeah, she did, but who knows when it's going to be delivered.
Well, I'm starving.
Me too.
Tiffany's supposed to bring a cake or something by. Angel, do you mind a suggestion?
Anything.
Staring at the phone is not going to make that call come any faster.
I know. It's just that I'm so excited to see all those people. You know, to really see them, to talk to them.
Well, it will happen, darling. Believe me, it will happen.
I did see some of them, you know, before, but I was afraid to make myself known.
Well, who did you see?
Oh, Claudia and Brian and Amy. It was all I could do not to rush over to her and give her a big hug and catch up on 2 years of Miss Gossip.
That's her specialty. You'll get a chance to do that. You will.
There's just so many things that I want to do. I mean, even just going over to Kelly's and having a bowl of Irish stew. Just walking on the waterfront with you.
Hey, wait a minute. You mean I get second billing to a bowl of mystery meat?
No, of course not. Oh, and Beecher's Corners. You've got to promise me that we can go to Beecher's Corners.
I hereby promise you anything you want. Anything.
I just hope it comes true.
It will. If Helena Cassadine can let you go, why shouldn't Stavros have the same good taste?
There are a lot of reasons why he might not.
Like what?
Once he gets his mind set on revenge, it's going to be much worse than anything she might do.
Oh, wait, Laura, don't go off on me now. We don't know that he's thinking of revenge.
But we don't know that he isn't, Luke.
That's right. Well, we will know as soon as Robert calls and says that he's on that plane.
And in presenting to you the Greek marble for the cornerstone of the new Cassadine Institute, Helena Cassadine quite specifically chose an Ionic piece from the Archaic period, and that is 600 to 500 years before the birth of Christ. The marble once crowned the eastern wall of the temple at Ephesus. And this magnificent temple was, most of all, a center for healing. I think it's therefore appropriate that it now crown the new Cassadine Institute to be built here upon your university grounds. Mr. Rooney has very kindly shown me the plans for your building, and I must say I was most impressed. I know that it would be Mrs. Cassadine's fervent wish that the marble serve to inspire all those who study here to truly learn the art of healing. All healing. And I choose the word all quite deliberately, ladies and gentlemen, because that's the other half of my presentation to you today. Mrs. Cassadine has authorized me to inform you that her restriction, committing your new institute to research only the medicinal values of carbonic snow, has now been entirely removed. She feels, and it's my honor to convey her feeling to you, that the Cassadine money would be better served by funding any research that your board chooses. This, we hope, will be to the greater benefit of your hospital, your university, and to your enchanting city of Port Charles.
On behalf of all of us here, Mr. Cassadine, but more importantly, on behalf of the future generations of healers who will be studying in the very shadow of the Greek marble cornerstone, may I ask that you convey to Mrs. Cassadine our deepest gratitude.
Absolutely, Dr. Hardy. And since I'll be leaving immediately, I shall be able to deliver that message very soon.
Our thanks are most profound, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Roon.
Mr. Cassadine?
Thank you again.
Yes, I wonder
Wonder what?
if he will be leaving immediately.
I think that covers just about everything. You know where most of the stock is, but if you have any questions, just ask.
I've got it down pretty well. I've checked the aisles thoroughly.
Good. Now, we've gone over the operation of the register, so you know about that.
Yes, sir, I do.
The most important thing to remember is that the customer comes first, no matter what. If you're restocking the shelves, the customer comes in, you drop everything, you take care of them.
Okay, I understand.
Now, I want you to wear this at all times. I notice you're wearing a tie. That's a good touch. I like that.
Yes, yes.
Oh, as the saying goes, it's never too soon to start. Here's your first customer.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am. May I help you?
Well, I hope so. I am looking for an eyeshadow. I want something in blue, but, well, not too blue. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I have an idea. We have a very large selection, so I'm sure we've got what you're looking for. Cosmetics are right this way.
Isn't this the most gorgeous thing you've ever laid your eyes on?
What is it?
It's a chocolate mousse pie, of course. Oh, and it looks so heavenly, I just had to buy 2.
2.
You planning to feed an army?
You're close. Oh, by the way, has Robert called about the Cassadines yet?
No, we're still waiting.
Well, when he does, get ready for an onslaught, darling. I'm going to call all of your old friends, everybody I can think of, your friends, your family, half of Port Charles.
Call him about what?
I'm going to call him about the party, of course, darling. The very single second that Robert says that the Cassadines are gone for good, people are going to start flocking in here in droves.
Oh, that sounds like a wonderful idea.
Yeah, if Robert calls, and I'm sure he will. Listen, I think I'll take this to the kitchen.
Oh, good idea.
Tiffany, yes. There's something that I want to ask you about.
Oh, yes, anything, darling.
You were with the Cassadines. Did you ever meet Stavros?
No, I never did, but I tell you what, I heard about him. So much, in fact, I felt like I really knew the guy.
What did you hear?
Well, for one thing, Victor was really in awe of him.
What did he say?
Well, I remember he said something about calling him a piece of beautiful steel. I mean, at the time, I thought that was a rather odd choice of words.
It's accurate. He's a very handsome man with a very cold heart. What else did Victor say?
Well, he was Helena's pet, but I guess you figured that out yourself.
Oh, yes. Definitely. He could be charming or he could be lethal, and somehow that seemed to appeal to her.
Sounds rather fascinating.
Not really.
But he definitely wanted you.
He was obsessed.
Obsessed? I'm not sure I understand what you mean by that.
I always knew that he was fully capable of loving me or of killing me. I mean that. That's why I'm so worried now.
But why?
Because now that he knows that he can never have me, nothing will stop him.
Oh, Laura, don't you think maybe you're just imagining that?
No. He would rather see me dead than happy with Luke.
Well, I certainly hope you're wrong about that.
I'm not. Believe me, I spent enough time with him to know. I know how his mind works, and he's never going to leave this town without me.
Well, good heavens, if he doesn't, I certainly don't know what Robert and Luke are going to do.
I'm afraid to even think about that.
Excuse me, Mr. Cassadines.
Yes, Commissioner.
Captain Ramsey and I would consider it a personal pleasure to escort you to the airport. The official police limo is waiting outside.
Well, that's very kind of you, but I have my own limousine.
Actually, I've taken the liberty of dismissing your car.
Oh?
Also, we transferred your luggage to one of the police cars.
Well, that wasn't necessary.
Well, it's the least we could do to a man of your distinction. I deem it a personal privilege to drive you in my car.
And your friends here can drive along with me in another police car.
Well, you're really so very considerate.
Consider it a pleasure. We've had all the traffic cleared between here and the airport, and just to make sure there's going to be no trouble, I'm going to wait to see you on that plane myself. Shall we?
Excuse me. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you ever so much.
Goodbye.
Well, so far, so good.
I think Robert handled that very smoothly, don't you?
Stavros was rather smooth himself.
Oh, stop. You make me so nervous when you say those kind of things.
He wasn't only smooth, he's very smart. And he's extremely slippery.
Well, he would have to be a magician to get away from Robert now, right? Well, but Robert's not going to take his eyes off him until he walks onto the airplane.
I'll be happy when he walks off of the airplane, when he gets to its final destination.
I know, me too. I just have to do this. I have to tell myself that everything is going to be all right, that this is the beginning of the end of the Cassadines.
I'll vote for that.
Okay, babe, we're going to go now.
I wish I could leave now, too.
It's all right. You'll be there soon enough, and you'll have plenty of time with her.
Okay.
Just think, she's back. We have all the time in the world with her.
Yes, sir. May I help you?
Yeah, I need something for stomachache.
Okay. Is it simple indigestion, or has the condition persisted?
Is it what?
Have you had a continuing stomach problem?
Well, I have one right now, that's for sure. My wife says there's something in a blue bottle that she takes. She told me the name of it, and I can't remember. I forgot.
Well, sir, there are a number of remedies for simple indigestion, but before you get into that, you might want to consider whether this is a more complicated problem.
Well, what's complicated about a bellyache? Why don't you just give me that stuff in the blue bottle my wife takes?
Sir, at best, non-prescription medicines afford only temporary relief. If I were you, I'd consult with a doctor and find out just what the problem is.
Look, just give me some medicine. That stuff in the blue bottle will do.
I assure you, I promise, a qualified physician could diagnose and treat your condition very quickly. My advice to you is to see a doctor as soon as possible.
Look, when I want advice, I'll ask for it.
Sir, you don't want to let a problem that's a simple thing become more complicated.
Look, what are you, a clerk or a fortune teller? Look, just forget the whole thing. I'll go to a drugstore where I can get what I want.
Sir, I'm sorry, I didn't...
Just what the hell were you trying to do?
I was trying to advise the customer.
But you're not here to advise the customer. You're here to give the customer what he wants. Don't you understand that? Whether that man thinks he should see a doctor or not is none of your business. You're not here to advise customers. Do you understand? Am I getting through to you? Am I?
Yes, sir, you certainly are. I understand.
Well, this has been a pleasure, Mr. Scorpio. Thank you very much for all of your attentions.
It was my pleasure.
It's always nice to know that the Port Charles Police Force will provide me with a taxi service. Although I assure you it wasn't necessary.
On the contrary, we thought it was. By the way, when you see Helena, thank her for the gift. I mean, after all, it was the very least she could do.
Well, I'm sure coming from you, she'll find that comment most amusing. Thank you again.
Have a nice trip.
I intend to. Captain, my thanks to you.
It was our pleasure. That's that.
Not quite.
Hey, come on, he's boarding.
I know. I'm going to wait right here till I see that plane taxi down the runway and take off. Then, And only then will I believe he's given up.
That's him? Yeah.
Luke, we can't stand it one more minute.
What can't you stand and who's we?
Ruby and me, we want to see Laura.
Oh, Bobby, I'm sorry. Listen, believe me, we want you to see her too, but not yet.
Then when?
Soon, maybe real soon.
Promise?
Oh, sure, you'll be the first to know. Honey, I gotta hang up though, okay?
Luke, we're waiting for you to call.
Well, that seems to be the game of the day. It's called wait for the call. I'll talk to you real soon. I guess you know that wasn't Robert.
Do you know what time it is?
Yeah, I know what time it is.
Stavros should have been gone by now. Why hasn't Robert called?
I wish I knew, darling.
I certainly hope nothing's wrong.
Something must be. I'm really worried now.
Plane's airborne.
It's really over.
You know, until I saw that bird take off, I didn't think it was going to happen.
Frankly, neither did I. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He's gone.
You're sure?
Well, I'm still at the airport. I just watched his plane take off.
Well, in that case, there's only one thing to say.
What?
Get over here. Let's party down. It worked. He's gone.
Let me
gone.
Oh, I'm going to call the entire world and tell them the seclusion is over to come and see our Laura.
Do it.
General Hospital will continue in a moment.